the Let's Master English podcast, and I'm your host, Coach Shane. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is episode 92 of the Let's Master English podcast, made especially for you and especially for Wednesday, June 28th, 2023. But, if you're listening to this anytime, thank you very much for joining me. I am Coach Shane, your English coach. By the way, right now we have our Super Summer Sale happening right now. So I sent out a newsletter today, and I'll send out another one tomorrow with all the information. I would love to see you in my classes. Start mastering English. Start getting serious. My 2 lessons, DDM and Perf, they will absolutely get you there. They're not for beginners. And as I always say, try before you buy. Always try the lessons. I'll send you lessons. Just go to the webpage, letsmasterenglish.com, and then you can sign up for the newsletter and some free lessons. And if you like the free lessons, I'll even send you some VIP lessons for free and some live classes too, so you can actually join a live class and ask questions and practice. How great is that? For free. Yeah, I do this because I know that people love the lessons and they join. So I want you to join. All right, today we've got a lot of stuff to do. Of course, we've got a news story. Country Shane is back with a very interesting fact and a very great question that happened during our Perf lesson, our last Perf lesson. Of course, we have what happened in history and observances for today, June 28th. Enough chit-chat. Let's get into the news. Fancy a daytime nap? Research from 2 universities in Uruguay suggests that it could be beneficial for your brain. The study, published in Sleep Health, analyzed data from almost 380,000 people aged between 40 and 69. It found a connection between habitual napping and a larger total brain volume, a sign of a healthy brain and reduced risk of cognition-impairing diseases. Although the study didn't show improvements in other measures of brain health, like reaction time and visual processing, it might still be a good idea to take a short nap if you're feeling sleepy. Remember, though, the ideal nap should be 30 minutes or less and not interfere with nighttime sleep. There you go. How was that? The basic story is easy. Taking a nap is good. That's the basic story, right? Nap, N-A-P. Do you know what a nap is, N-A-P? It's a short sleep. And if you listen carefully, how short should it be? 30 minutes or less. Yeah. Do you nap? I nap. I try to nap. But my naps tend to be a little bit long. And I think the reason is at night I don't sleep much. 5 hours, 6 hours of sleep. And I really should get 7 or 8 hours. But it's so hard. It's so hard to get that much sleep. So my naps tend to be an hour, sometimes even a little bit more. But yeah, I do enjoy naps, and I think they are important. They're important for me. Let's go ahead and look at this story carefully. Fancy a daytime nap? Fancy. Oh, this is a great word. It means, do you like? Do you want? Do you want to do something? Would you like something? Do you desire something? Do you crave something? Fancy a cup of tea? It's kind of a British expression, but we do use it in the U.S. We like this word too. Fancy a hamburger? Would you like a hamburger? Fancy a daytime nap? Would you like to take a nap during the day? Yeah. Some people can at work. Usually at lunchtime, right? So do you want to take, would you like to take a daytime nap? Do you feel like a daytime nap? Research from 2 universities in Uruguay Oh, Uruguay, down there in South America, suggests, this research suggests, it says that taking a nap could be beneficial for your brain. Oh, taking a nap could be good for your brain. I like that. As you guys know, I have a brain. My brain, I think, is quite large. I feel as though my IQ is probably like 150. I don't know, though. Maybe not. Maybe my IQ is only... my IQ's got to be good, right? It's got to be good. What do you think my IQ is? It's not as high as my wife's. My wife, she's got the IQ in the family. She's the brain. Yeah, I'm the personality, and she's the brains. Mikey, my son, yeah, I think he has a high IQ. Jimmy, I have a feeling his IQ is closer to mine. Yeah, I hope it's higher. But anyway, so it's good for your brain. Taking a nap could be good for your brain. The research, published in Sleep Health. So this must be a medical magazine or medical publication about sleep. The study analyzed data. It looked at data. And when we say the word data, D-A-T-A, we have two pronunciations, data and data. We say both, so don't worry about that. The study analyzed data, information from almost 380,000 people. That's a lot of people. Aged between 40 and 69. So there you go. That's a big age range. I am in that age range. Are you in that age range? The study found a connection between habitual napping and a larger total brain volume. Ooh, so there's the science. So there's a connection. There's a relationship between A and B. What is A? Habitual napping. Habitual. Habit. H-A-B-I-T. Habit, U-A-L. Habitual, there you go, adjective. Habitual napping. Napping regularly. Having a habit, a routine of taking a nap. So that's A. So it found a connection between A and B. What is B? A larger total brain volume. Total brain volume? The size of your brain. And they say the size of your brain actually shows your brain's health. So we want to have a big brain. But what happens is if our brain gets smaller as we get older, that's not good. That's not healthy. So again, that first part, it found the study found a connection between habitual napping and a larger total brain volume, a sign of a healthy brain, and reduced risk of cognition-impairing diseases. So a larger brain is a sign of a healthy brain, and a larger brain gives you a reduced risk, less risk of what? Cognition-impairing diseases. And what are cognition-impairing diseases? Those are brain diseases, thinking diseases that affect your ability to think or to learn or to remember something. So similar words, cognition-impairing diseases, we have neurodegenerative diseases, but that's something a doctor would say. And we also say cognitive disorders. So, yeah. Like, when somebody gets really old, sometimes they start to forget things. That is cognition impairing a symptom. It could be a disease. It could just be you forget. Because I forget things all the time. I do not think I have a cognition impairing disease. Sometimes I just forget things, right? So that sentence was long. Listen carefully. It found a connection between habitual napping and a larger total brain volume, a sign of a healthy brain and reduced risk of cognition-impairing diseases. Although the study didn't show improvements in other measures of brain health, like reaction time and visual processing, it might still be a good idea to take a short nap if you're feeling sleepy. So that's, again, a long sentence. Let's talk about it. The study didn't show improvements in areas like reaction time and visual processing. What's reaction time? Let's say you're standing there and suddenly I throw a ball to you. Okay? So if you're a young person with a young brain, you're going to see that ball and your body's going to react and you're going to get the ball or hit the ball or jump out of the way. You're going to be very quick. But if you're older, you might be a little bit slower. So did taking a nap help your reaction time? Did it make you fast? No, there's no relationship. They didn't see any improvement in that area. And what about the other one? Visual processing. That means when you see something, are you able to understand it? Sometimes, if you're normal, if you're healthy, if your brain is healthy, yes, we see something, we understand it. But sometimes when you're older, and think like grandma and grandpa, sometimes they see something and they don't know what's this? How do you do this? I don't understand. What? So did taking a nap help our visual processing? No, it doesn't seem like it. So the study didn't show improvements in other measures and other things that we can measure regarding brain health, like reaction time and visual processing. Anyway, it might still be a good idea to take a short nap if you're feeling sleepy. Anyway, take a short nap if you're feeling sleepy. Your brain is going to stay big, and we want big brains. Remember, though, however, you must remember the ideal nap, the perfect nap, the best nap should be 30 minutes or less. That's kind of short. But anyway, 30 minutes or less is perfect, and it should not interfere with nighttime sleep. So take your nap. The earlier you take your nap, the better. Because if you take your nap like at 4 p.m., then when you want to go to bed at night, you might not be sleepy. So try taking your nap earlier, like at lunchtime. Eat your lunch and then take a nap. That's probably the best time to take a nap because a lunchtime nap will not interfere with your nighttime sleep. It's not going to hurt your nighttime sleep. You still should be able to go to bed at your regular time. But 30 minutes or less. 30 minutes or less. So what about you? Do you nap? Do you like to nap? How long is your nap? Where do you nap? A lot of people, if they work at home, luxury. We can nap on the couch. We can nap in the bed. How nice is that? But if you're at the office, where can you nap? Right? At your desk? That's not that comfortable. Is there a place you can go nap? So I'm curious about you. If you nap and you're not at home, where do you nap? Let me know. We had some great phrases here. Fancy a cup of tea. Do you fancy a cup of tea? Would you like a cup of tea? Fancy a coffee? Would you like a coffee? Daytime nap. Of course, that is sleeping for a short time during the day. A connection, a relationship. Habitual napping. Napping, that is a habit, something that you routinely do. You do regularly. You nap regular, well, then you have a habitual napping habit. Total brain volume, meaning the size of your brain. Cognition impairing diseases. Those are diseases that hurt the function of your brain. Measures or characteristics. Ideal, the perfect. Ideal nap, the perfect nap. Interfere, that means to hinder something. And nighttime sleep, of course, when you go to bed at night. That's the most important time to sleep, right? You know that. Everybody knows that. And they say you should get between 7 and 8 hours of sleep. They say it's really important. So I'm curious, are you able to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night? Let me know. Some people need 10. When I was younger, when I didn't have kids, I could sleep 10. Oh, yeah, no problem. Now with kids and a business, oh, geez. Yeah. I'm serious. 5 hours is typical. 6 hours is great. If I get 6 hours of sleep, I'm happy. Yeah. That's perfect. All right. Let's check out the story one more time. Fancy a daytime nap? Research from 2 universities in Uruguay suggests that it could be beneficial for your brain. The study, published in Sleep Health, analyzed data from almost 380,000 people aged between 40 and 69. It found a connection between habitual napping and a larger total brain volume, a sign of a healthy brain and reduced risk of cognition-impairing diseases. Although the study didn't show improvements in other measures of brain health like reaction time and visual processing, it might still be a good idea to take a short nap if you're feeling sleepy. Remember, though, the ideal nap should be 30 minutes or less and not interfere with nighttime sleep.
Where education and entertainment come together. Let's master English. Do it.
How you doing, everybody? This is Country Shane, and I'm bringing you the facts. Hey, everybody. Oh, I love me a nap, and I'm not alone. Some notable nappers include Albert Einstein. He believed in power naps. Thomas Edison, the inventor, loved his naps. Winston Churchill, JFK, and even Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back, have publicly talked about the benefits of their daytime napping.
Okay, so if Einstein is taking naps, obviously he's taking a long nap right now, but if he used to take naps, then definitely I think we should all take naps. Again, there's a term, power nap. P-O-W-E-R, power nap. Power napping, that's a brief nap of like 20 to 30 minutes, can really help you. It can improve your mood. It can make you happier. It can obviously make you more awake, and it can help your performance. And some companies actually want their employees to power nap. They have places where you can go nap at the company. What companies? Well, how about Google and how about NASA? Yeah, how lucky is that? For me, I'm my own boss, and I encourage a nap. And fortunately, I work at home. Question and answer time. So we had a perf. Perf is my speaking class. And in the last perf assignment, we were talking about Generation X. Millennials and Gen Z. Generation X is basically like 1965 to 1980. So if you were born between 1965 and 1980, you are Gen X. Those years, adjust. But anyway, basically that's the idea. So Generation X. Anyway, we talked about Generation X, but we had a sentence that confused a lot of students. And the sentence was, let me tell you how us Gen Xers grew up. I'll say it again. Let me tell you how us Gen Xers grew up. And the question was, us? Shouldn't we say we? Let me tell you how we Gen Xers grew up. And I loved it because when I create the assignments, I just, I'm in my head and I'm thinking, okay, what would I say? And this is what I would say. And this is beautiful because this is daily English. And in daily English, many times we break grammar rules, but there's usually a reason. Yes, grammatically, we should say, let me tell you how we Gen Xers grew up. But in daily English, we're almost always going to say, let me tell you how us Gen Xers grew up. So the big question is why? Why are we not saying we? We is grammatically correct. Why us? And there is a reason. Whenever we say the word we is an inclusive word. And just the word we alone can mean you and I and maybe everyone else. So in this sentence, by saying us Gen Xers, it separates you from me. And it shows that Gen Xers is an exclusive group and you are not a part of the Gen X generation. Now, in this talk, what's really important in that sentence, let me tell you how us Gen Xers grew up. Who is you? We have to understand who you is. I'll say it again. Listen carefully. Let me tell you how us Gen Xers grew up. Is you a Gen X person? No, because they know how we grew up. Is you a grandmother? No, they saw us grow up. They know how we grew up. You must be somebody younger, a millennial or a Generation Z, something like that. Okay, so that's very important to understand. So let me tell you, you young person, how us only Gen Xers grew up. That is the meaning of, or that is the reason we do not say we say us. Okay, does that make sense? So I got 3 other examples, just so that you can hopefully really catch it. So check this out. Us boys are going out tonight. Now, grammatically, it should be we boys are going out tonight, but we would never say that. Us boys are going out tonight means me and my friends, not you. I'm telling you that me and my friends, other guys, we're going out tonight. Here's another one. Us teachers need a break. Grammatically, we teachers need a break. But why do we say us? Because I'm talking to you. And are you a teacher? Now, most likely not. Some of you actually might be a teacher. In that situation, if I'm talking to you and you're a teacher, I should say, we teachers need a break. And you'll say, yes, that's right. But if you're not a teacher, then it's perfect in daily spoken English to say, us teachers need a break. Not you, you're a programmer, or you're something else. You're a business guy, whatever. Us teachers, not you. Us teachers need a break. And my third example, us parents always have a busy schedule. Now, if you are a parent, then I should say we parents always have a busy schedule, right? It's true. But maybe you're not a parent. Or maybe your children are older, even in high school, and they're more independent. But like my wife and I, we have a 3-year-old boy and a 5-year-old boy. They need us all the time. And we have our own life. So us parents, unless you're like me, I'm going to say us parents always have a busy schedule. Does that make sense? I hope so. Now, once again, these are non-standard grammar. This is non-standard grammar. This is not correct, but it's what we say. So if you're writing or if you're giving a speech, you better be careful. You better be careful. But if you're having a conversation or listening to a casual conversation and you hear this, now you know why we say us instead of we. Today in history, June 28th. Did anything interesting happen today in history? Oh, yes. Quite a bit, actually. Normally, I don't like to talk about, war or something that happened a long, long time ago, but I thought this was really interesting. June 28th, 1914, the assassination of Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary. This basically started World War I. Not on this day, but that event basically started World War I on June 28th, 1914. And on June 28th, 1919, 5 years later exactly, the Treaty of Versailles, France. The Treaty of Versailles was signed, and that ended World War I. So I thought that was really interesting. Something a little bit closer to now. June 28th, 1960, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Psycho, the movie, scary, scary movie, a landmark in the psychological horror genre, premiered in the United States. Did you see that movie? Have you seen that movie? Psycho, the original? Oh, yeah, that was a scary movie. In 1969, on June 28th, the Stonewall riots began in Greenwich Village in New York City, and that was the mark of the start of the modern gay rights movement. In 1978, the film Grease, starring John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, premiered in the U.S. Grease, we call it a movie. It's actually a musical. Great songs. And it's really funny because John Travolta, before this movie, he was a funny guy in sitcoms on TV. And suddenly he's in this movie and he's singing and dancing. People were like, what? But his co-star was Olivia Newton-John. And people were like, wow. So, yeah, very popular movie. A little bit, I was kind of too young at the time. I was 11 years old. Now I was 10 years old at the time. But I do remember my mom and dad enjoying that movie. In 1985, This Is My Time, Studio by Phil Collins went to number 1 on the U.S. singles chart, his third U.S. number 1. Do you know the song, Studio by Phil Collins? Come on. The bald drummer did a great job. And finally, on June 28th, in 1997, in a boxing match against Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson was disqualified for biting off a piece of Holyfield's ear. You remember that? Yeah, they had a boxing match. Mike Tyson bit Evander Holyfield's ear and actually took a piece off his ear. Oh, my God. Mike Tyson is scary. But now, I mean, at that point, he was really scary. That's what happened on this day, June 28th, in history. And today we have observances, like holidays. They're not holidays, but things that are happening today. For example, it is International Body Piercing Day. You know, so body piercing, simply like women with their earrings, that they put a hole in their ear and they have earrings. That's a body piercing. Some people have nose piercings, and some people have piercings everywhere, in their tongue, on their lips, and their cheeks. Oh, yeah. Do you? That looks painful. Would I ever do body piercing? Just don't think so. Not me. But if you are, today's your day. Congratulations. It is Tau Day. Do you know how to spell Tau? T-A-U. Tau. Tau is basically, it's pi times 2. You know, pi, right? Pi. Pi is what? 3.14, blah, 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 blah. 3.14. So on March 14th, we celebrate Pi Day, right? The math, right? The circle, 3.14. We celebrate Pi Day on March 14th, 314. And today, 2 pi is tau, which is 6.28. And it's 6/28, June 28th. So today we celebrate Tau Day. So if you're a math person, today's your day. Today is International Caps Lock Day. Now look, do you have your keyboard? You might not have a keyboard. You might be on a phone. But if you're at a computer and you look at your keyboard, on the left side at the bottom of the keyboard, and I'm looking at a PC keyboard, I see the control button, there's a shift button, there's a caps lock button. That's the caps lock. And in America, I don't know about in your country, but in America, sometimes people, they type their letters and their text messages in all capital letters, all big letters, especially grandmas and grandpas and my boss. And there's two reasons. Well, there's three reasons. Number one, probably because, when you're older, you can't see. So if you have capital letters, it's easier to see. Number two, if it's my boss, it's because he's yelling. By typing in all capital letters, it means that he's yelling. And number three, they're just silly and they forgot. I don't know. But anyway, today is International Caps Lock Day. So lock your keyboard, push that caps lock button, and send messages all day long. Everybody's going to think you're yelling at them. Today is National Insurance Awareness Day. Make sure your insurance is up to date. It's National Logistics Day in the U.S., celebrating the shipping companies like UPS, FedEx, and DHL. It's International Lightning Safety Day. So outside, if you see lightning, be careful. It can get you. It can hurt you. It can even kill you. Ooh, today is National Ceviche Day. Ceviche, soup, delicious soup. Is it Mexican or is it Spanish? I don't know, but I've had ceviche. It's delicious. And finally, it's Paul Bunyan Day. Who of you knows Paul Bunyan? Yeah, I do. I have a picture of me as a child with Paul Bunyan. And when I lived in Minnesota, I have another picture with my son Mikey and Paul Bunyan. Maybe, in the future, I should share that picture. That is what's happening today, June 28th. That's going to do it for the LME podcast number 92, June 28th, 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. We talked about a lot. We talked about the fascinating study about the brain-boosting benefits of daytime naps. We talked about, we and us, using it as a subject. We teachers, us teachers. And, of course, we traveled in time. I encourage you guys always, when I give you some information, when I tell you about something, go Google it. Go to the internet and dive deeper into those topics, and you're going to learn a lot more. And if you have questions, ask. If you have opinions, ask. If you have a suggestion for me, please tell me. I'm ready to hear you. It's easy to contact me. contact@letsmasterenglish.com. It's the easiest email address. Remember, mastering English, it's a lifetime thing. It's got to be a habit of a lifetime. So whether you're learning about, naps and brain stuff or asking questions, us or we, just remember, this is something that you should continue doing for the rest of your life. If this podcast has helped you, I hope it has, please show some support. Share the podcast with your friends. Leave a review on iTunes and Spotify. That way, more and more people around the world can find this podcast, and that's what I want to do. I want to help lots and lots of people. So that's it. Join me next time for more interesting stories and practical language learning tips. Don't forget, get your free listening and speaking lessons by subscribing to my newsletter at letsmasterenglish.com. If you like my lessons, I'll send you VIP lessons for free, and the Super Summer Sale is on right now. So grab the opportunity to improve your English skills and enjoy a great discount on our memberships. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you in the next episode. Have a fantastic Wednesday, and together, let's master English.